Hello everyone, this is Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm an eBay seller full-time. I've been doing this with my fiance Netta for a couple years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm about to go into what we are shipping out after the weekend. So this is like the back end of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So the first thing is a lot of two of these Roco like military tank miniature bits and pieces. Some of them are complete, some of them are not. There's like Jeeps in there as well. Any just kind of bits, wheels, stuff like that. This is a lot of 23, and then the next one is also going to be a lot of 20 right here. So this is a combo order. These end up selling for $38 plus shipping. We do plus shipping for everything, so I'll just save us a bunch of time right now. Sorry, I'm like running out of space. I'm trying to figure out how to navigate this. All right, next up is Anthropologie, like a switch light plate right here. This is kind of like a fancy ornate one. It has like a cream colored little bricks and then some kind of like branching off little design. Apparently this is some kind of like more expensive like shop you can go to or something. I'm not too sure about it. I think Anetta knows more about this. This ended up selling for $14.99. So we do sell like a variety of stuff. I got that one, I think, for free from her mom. I think she knew someone that was like redesigning some of her switch light plates and then she didn't like that one or something. So like, there you go. We got 15 bucks for it. Pretty cool. All right, next up is a really cool item. I've been excited to talk about it since it sold right here. One second, I have like stickers and stuff in the way. I was not prepared for this. Just trying to get the stickers and stuff out of the way. It's in like a comic book cover that I put this in. So the actual thing is the Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone trading card game retailer promotions sheet. So I don't want to take this whole thing out just because it's in good condition, but this would be given to shops, and on the back there's like barcodes of like the first booster packs and the starter deck. This is a really cool card game. I remember getting the starter set back when I was a kid. Like, instead of like lands and stuff, you have like little ingredients to be able to cast your little allies. You get like little creatures and stuff. Really cool. Like, I actually thought the cards looked great. Like, still to this day, if I found some, I know they're actually worth a lot of money. Obviously people love Harry Potter. I think I found like an open starter deck at a like a Savers or a Half Price Books probably like a couple years before we even started recording on YouTube. I think we got like 30, 40, 50 bucks for like an open starter deck. So I know people love this. So this is a cool promo item. This sheet of paper sold for $12.76. Excuse me. Yeah, I just think it's a really cool card game. You can look it up. Also, randomly, we just started watching the Harry Potter movies, where we just finished the third one last night. So we'll watch it like every few nights. It's been a long time since I've either read the books or watched them. I watched all the movies once, and I think I read all the books once. I don't actually remember if I like finished the last few. I'm like, it was just so long ago. Annetta read the books hundreds of times, and I think she's watched the movies many times. So she just randomly asked if we should watch them. I'm like, sure. So it's just cool that that also sold when we were doing that. Not that that actually influenced the sale. All right, next up is going to be like a little model toy car. ER models. This one is right here, a blood alcohol unit. It had like little wheels and stuff that were like taken off. Some of that just needs to put it on. It might not even be broken. I just described it as such because these we got from the people with the die-cast cars, and some of them were broken or had like little pieces that needed repair. So I just put that just in case. This sold for $8.99. So those cars have been adding up. I've been also going through the toy bin that we got from the same person where we got all the die-cast cars. I'm going to list the rest of them today. I did like about a third of them on Friday, organized them all. It's a lot of fun, like these Marks NPC little like Indians, cowboys. There's like farm animals, a bunch of military green army men, but like they're all usually, they look like they're from the 60s. All right, next up is going to be a Napoleon figure right here. Right, this, some kind of captain. This is just like an interesting plastic miniature kit that you build by a company called Historics. I don't have too much of this stuff, so I don't know anything about it, but we do sell a lot of these military miniatures. This sold for $14. They've been super popular for us. All right, next up is gonna be a lot of 3 of these like USA military, like green plastic. There's like an actual tank in here, and then we have like a little Jeep, and then another Jeep that carries like a small howitzer artillery, like a mini one. This ended up selling for $17, different than the person that got the other like tanks and stuff that were the Roco brand. These ones I put down, they were USA by Auburn Toys. There you go, whatever company that is. All right, moving along, we have 3 little like heads and arms for a War Machine Horde, specifically the fantasy version. These are Heavy Warjacks, 2 heads and then like 1 arm. Sometimes people like to modify their figures, and usually these kits don't have like enough pieces to make multiple figures, but they give you multiple options. So maybe someone's gonna mishmash a couple together or something. I know these bits and pieces, like people do use them over time. This sold for $6.99. It was just like a little extra in our video where we got one of the videos where we got the War Machine collection. This was just like in a pile of bits, and I did mention in the video that I will separate them and list them. So I didn't even put down like a cost for that because that was just like an extra. All right, next up is going to be a record. I don't know anything about records, but when we got a bunch of these for free, like a couple hundred of them, I wasn't going to deny them. It was either that or the trash. All right, this one right here, I don't even know the title. Let's see, Sleeping Beauty, Waltz Roses from the South. I think I have more keywords, but I can't see it right now on the screen. So yeah, this one right here ended up selling for $7.49. When we got the records, a bunch of the records were free. We didn't have boxes for it, so the first few were difficult to ship because we got it like handcraft boxes, but then I found some that are like 13-inch by 13-inch by like 2-inch. So we got prepared for those. So these have been easy to ship since she got those a bit ago. All right, next up is going to be another miniature, Heroics and Rose, Ross. I don't know if it's my name. It's 1S right here. Soviet heavy weapons figures, 1 out of 3,000 scales. So they're like super tiny. You probably can't see it. So it's gonna be some like infantry. They're like all lined up on like a little bar on the bottom to keep them in place. These end up selling for $12. I have a bunch of this particular brand. Not a bunch. I still like when I was picking that one from the storage box I listed, and I saw like another 10 or so. So that's pretty cool. All right, next up is gonna be some Guild Ball stuff. So this game is not around anymore. So I don't know why I sold 3 Guild Ball things, not combo order. The first one, Fisherman's Guild token set. This was like a later faction team that came out. They're like a blue, aqua. These are little tokens that denote different actions like characters have taken or different special abilities. These are like official from the company, Steamforged Games. And then next up is going to be like an actual Guild Ball team. Did I actually forget to grab it? I think I did. I'm really sad because that's painful because I was at the storage unit thinking like, I don't want anything to go wrong today. I guess I forgot to grab it, but it is a full team. The Union set right there ended up selling for $50. I made a note that I got it for 33 cents on auction from that auction I went to. So it's probably like a bunch of Guild Ball stuff separate from these tokens. I got these tokens at a different time, so that sold for 50. All right, next up is gonna be some Warhammer 40K bits and pieces. These right here are what faction? Imperial bits and pieces. These ended up selling for $14.99. I still have some more. I told you I listed a bunch from that big bin I got. I just made a bunch of little lots and it's been fantastic. All right, and then the other Guild Ball item, the third one or the second one you're gonna see on screen, Brewers Guild right here. The alcohol like type of faction, I guess. This is from season 1. These are like a yellow type of color. They're like little clan symbol is 2 ales like clashing together. That sold for $13.49, which is pretty great, honestly. All right, next up is going to be a CD. I put CD only. I don't remember listing this. The Fall of Japan, William Craig, Brilliance Audio. Maybe this is like a book that it's read to you. I'm being real stupid. I just don't know what this is right now without seeing the full case. Plus, I'm sad I forgot to grab the other item. All right, this sold for $7.49. I'm gonna keep it nice in the package so it doesn't get scratched. It doesn't have any scratches now. All right, next up is going to be this like damaged boxed Furby. So the box is like super damaged. The lid comes off. It's like the Dalmatian color. I tested it with batteries. The compartment was pretty damaged, honestly, right there. That's the like Dalmatian one. If this was working and if the box was better condition, this would be worth a lot more. This ended up selling for $16.87, but like I said, it does not work. I talked about it. I'm still keeping the original damaged box with it. Who knows if they're gonna toss it out or keep it. I don't like to like part stuff when it wouldn't save that much space in the storage unit, if that makes sense. All right, next up is gonna be a little map right here. I put down ATS, Facing the Blitz Critical Hit Wargaming Hex map only. I'm not sure what the ATS stands for. I know there's like Advanced Squad Leader, but yeah, this like just ends up folding out, and this is a map where you do a battle on or a campaign little scenario on. This sold for $10.79 to a repeat buyer, so it's cool. They're keeping an eye out on the hexagon maps and stuff I find. Whenever I find them, I do try to pick them up. All right, next up is going to be Birdhouse Skateboards right here. So this is a Tech Deck brand, but this is a binder, right? So you can put like school pages in a 3-ring binder, or you're gonna put trading card page sheets and collect some cards. It's just an interesting item because Tech Deck right here is normally those like fancy little finger skateboards toys. This sold for $14. The person was going back and forth with a lot of offers on that, but we decided on 14. which is great. All right, next up is going to be a pack of 100 Ultra Pro Platinum Series trading card binder sleeves, not to the same person, so it's not a combo order. These always have like different years and stuff, so I'm always taking pictures of like the SKU numbers, because like they'll change the quality sometimes, or they'll be like Platinum Series, Pro Series, Premium Series. So I just took a picture of everything. This thing is sealed, other than like a little like rip here, but like everything's still in there. It's 100 pages. This is heavy, so usually kind of some of the price goes into the shipping for this. This sold for $15. I think they paid $14 shipping. But yeah, that's still pretty cheap for these pages. These pages can be expensive, and usually people do want a lot. People usually think those are cheaper until they look them up. All right, next up is going to be a comic book that I don't know anything about. I do get comic books cheap sometimes. Aphrodite, the 9th right here. It's like a scantily lady on the front, like some kind of fantasy or dark fantasy. There's the little like ad on the back. It's for Arcanum, some kind of either miniature game or card game. This sold for $8 right there. All right, next up is going to be Mercs, a miniature. So this is a tactics miniature game. This is just one figure. This is Cephadu Heavy. That's his name right there. It's really hard to see. So yeah, you get a little squad, as you can see up here in the package, and then you fight another little squad. I don't think this game ever took off. Like this right here is like new and packaged and only sold for $8. So when I originally saw those, I thought they would do better. I was like, oh, I remember that game. People liked it. You kind of have like a Mac infantry type of person, a little squad. But I guess I don't know if I just had some bad figures or if it didn't take off. All right, next up is going to be something that I forgot to grab from the other room right there. So it's here, so I get to actually ship it. It's going to be the first sale from those Marks figures. It's a caveman. He has like the club, and he's like 6 inches high. That sold for $18, so it's pretty cool to get like a sale right away from all of the organizing. It took like an hour, maybe a little bit more, to like organize them into like how I'm going to list them. So I did them by type, and then I started listing some of the little lots. It takes time though. I like to picture everything, so usually I fill up my pictures up to 24. What's the cap? 24 or 25? I can't remember. I think it's 24, so I'll actually take 24 pictures of everything, just to give a person a good idea of what they're getting in the lots. All right, next up is going to be a cool Overwatch item right here. This is a Mai, the character. It's her little like Snowfrost keychain right there, or maybe her symbol or her necklace. I've only played the game once for like a couple hours when it was free many years ago. I don't think this character was around. I know people are obsessed with her. There's a lot of super fans, so this is like a cool Blizzard promotional keychain. $21 for that. I have another one listed, so if anyone happens to randomly care about that, I do have another one. All right, next up is going to be a book, A Field Guide to the Birds by Peterson right here. It's a hardcover. It's missing its dust jacket. That's okay. It has like a random little like ruler on the side, so I guess you can take this out to the field if you're like drawing or tracing some stuff, but there's a lot of cool information about birds and pictures in here. This sold for $7.49. I think we got this from an auction house that was moving. They had a couple of like books that we grabbed. All right, moving along, we have some D&D cards for the miniature game, just the cards only, a lot of 35. This is for the set Aberrations. You can tell there's like a little set symbol down there. I don't know if you can see on the camera, but yeah, 35 of these. We got like 5,000 of these D&D cards only, no miniatures, a long time ago, and they've been pretty well for us, kind of like how you've seen the Warhammer 40k bits and pieces that we constantly sell. We got like way more of this a long time ago, and they're still selling. Yeah, we still have like a good amount left listed. Everything's listed. This sold for $18.22. So yeah, people still like them. They have stats for the miniatures. You can still use them for like the RPG, I believe. So they're just like fun to look at. They have a lot of little different stats about monsters. All right, next up is gonna be another Skybolt toy. Cinder right here, this particular like firewoman with her like leather suit. She got some like fireballs there, and then she has her like her little base. Here's the back. I think this is some comic book action figure. This ended up selling for $12.15, so that's pretty good. I have a good amount of this particular like Skybolt brand of figures, so I made different lots. I made individuals, and they've been selling at like a slow pace, but I have been selling them. All right, next up is going to be a lot of 200. You can't see them well because this is kind of like the front for one of them. These are Monster Apocalypse like unit stat cards. I think someone like made these kind of custom. They did like a good job. So yeah, it's gonna have the figure, like it's a bunch of these index. It's gonna have like the figure and then all the stats about it, all its powers and abilities. This sold for $17.99. All right, moving along is something that I would have kept if the person didn't pay for it, but this is Legend of the Five Rings, the Ratling Clan. This is like a huge, like 100-ounce thermos type of thing, you could probably take this to like 7-Eleven and fill it up with the Slurpee, and like, you know, they have like, you can bring your own stuff in there. That'd be pretty cool. So honestly, someone sent in a pretty good offer, $30 for this. I spent $10 for this on auction. There was another one that someone outbid me on, the Dragon Clan. I don't know if it's Dragon or if they have like a fancier word. So obviously someone got the Dragon one. This one was pretty cool. I knew someone would like it. There was very little of these listed on eBay. I remember like maybe 1 or 2 of different clans. I think L5R, Legend of the Five Rings, I think they have like 7, 8, or 9 different clans, and there's also like sub factions. So the lore gets pretty deep. There was like a time a month or 2 ago when I was listing and I was listening to like someone's random lore about L5R, and I'm like, oh wow, this is pretty cool. I just don't have more time to listen to more. So this sold for $30. Sorry, they sent an offer. It was good. I accepted it. They didn't pay for like 5 or 6 days. And then I was sitting there telling like another, oh, I usually give them time to pay, which is not a big deal. But I was like, if they don't pay for this one in like a day or 2, I'll send them a nice message like, hey, if you still want to pay, go for it. If not, I'm going to relist it. And at that point, I was thinking maybe in my head, I was just going to keep this one. And then they paid for it like a couple hours later, which is rare. Usually when like something's sitting in payments for like a long time, usually I remember that they don't pay, but we do usually not hassle people. I'll send like one message after like 5 or 6 days just to like, hey, do you still want this, because I want to relist it. All right, enough rambling about that. Moving along, we have a large US carrier deck right here, display based. So yeah, someone's just going to use this as like a display bottom. I don't know, it's almost like a styrofoam. So yeah, they're going to put this down and then put their US carrier miniature in quotations, right? Because it's going to be like a big little naval naval ship type of thing. This ended up selling for $21. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. This sold for $21, which is pretty good for that one. I don't remember if I got that at the auction or not, so I'm not going to mark it down as the auction because I just don't remember. Next up is going to be another train. I thought I sold all of the big trains I listed. There was still another one that I had listed. This one is like incomplete in the way where I don't fully know. It was like better safe than sorry. There was like a couple of like little bits and pieces. So there's like a wheel here and a little lamppost that popped off. And then I noticed maybe there's like a missing chimney thing. But yeah, other than that, it's still pretty good. This thing's probably going to work. They're probably going to put these little pieces on. Like, it's just going to take a little bit of glue, whatever the proper glue to put onto this train. And then maybe this stack, if there's like a little stack, they're just going to not do anything with it. Or maybe it's not supposed to have anything there. This sold for $60. I made a note not to forget the little baggie of bits and pieces. I didn't know that I had like put it into the back of the train. So I was going through the whole bin and I couldn't find the baggie, and I just emptied the whole bin carefully. And then I was looking at everything. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be my one mistake for the day. I was like, of course it's gonna be under $60 item. But then when I was looking at the train again, I realized I had put the little baggie of the couple bits that fell off on the side. All right, moving along, we have a Heroscape. This is going to be Glyph of Strula, right there. Sorry, right here. This is the card. Heroscape is a cool hexagon miniature game. There's the little relic item that characters can pick up. Yeah, they made all their like stack cards hexagon. They're kind of like unwieldy and cumbersome, these like stack cards. So this ended up selling for $6.75. People still play the current Heroscape, and if you get old stuff, it's pretty good. It's a pretty cool one. I bought some stuff when I was a kid, but I never played it, but I do know people like it. And the last item for the day is the X-Files 1997 desk diary book right here. This one is literally just like a full year. You can open it up. There's gonna be like characters and stuff on it. So like a lot of X-Files stuff. And then like you can write January 1st, make some notes. So actual like cool notebook / diary, probably more like a notebook, honestly, when I was like looking through it. Unused, then it's selling for $14.99. So yeah, we're gonna be running out of time. This stuff is actually pretty easy to pack other than the train. So yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to help support us. Take a look at the shop down below.